This lesson describes the Electronic Flight Instrument System or EFIS and looks specifically at the Electronic Horizontal Situation Indicator or EHSI. Most of the example displays that we show are Boeing systems. You will find that other manufacturers may present this information in slightly differing formats. The Electronic Flight Instrument System or EFIS presents attitude and navigation information on two electronic display units, the Attitude Director Indicator or ED and the Horizontal Situation Indicator or EHSI. The system interacts with the flight management system and utilizes color cathode ray tube or liquid crystal displays. It is comparatively advanced not only in terms of construction but also in terms of the attitude and navigational data which can be presented. However, as with all technology, new developments are being continuously evolved. A complete EFIS installation is made up of two individual systems, one for the captain and one for the first officer. In the diagrammatic layout here, we can see that each system contains an ED, which is the preferred Boeing term. Airbus call it a primary flight display or PFD. There is also an EHSI as Boeing call it. Airbus call it a navigation display or ND. However, you should be prepared to see ED and PFD used interchangeably and the same with EHSI and ND. Also, other manufacturers may use either term. Additionally, there is a control panel, a simple generator and a remote light sensor unit which responds to ambient light conditions on the flight deck to automatically adjust the brightness of the screen display. In addition, a third backup symbol generator is incorporated in case a system symbol generator should fail. In this lesson, we are going to look at only the Electronic Horizontal Situation Indicator or EHSI, part of the EFIS system. The color coding used on the EHSI is a COS standard which is also the standard adopted by ESA. ESA document CAS-25 recommends the following. Warnings are in red. So are flight envelopes and system limits. Cautions or abnormal sources are in amber or yellow. The ground on attitude director indicators is a tan brown color. Engaged modes are shown in green. Cyan or blue is used for the sky. Deviation pointers, as with all demands or commands, are in magenta. Flight director bars can be in magenta or green. In addition, Boeing use color set 1 as it is called, which complements but does not conflict with the ESA CAS-25 standard. Fixed reference symbols are white. So are current data values and armed modes. Selected data or values are green. Selected headings are magenta. And so is the active route or flight plan. Before looking at pages of the display, it is worth getting to know what the various symbols mean. The Boeing 737-800 uses these. This is a vortex. As it is in blue, it simply means that it is as indicated in the position on the screen and is available for use but has not been selected or tuned. If selected for active use, it turns green. A VOR is like this. And here it is when in use. This is a DMA. And this is a non-directional beacon or NDB. An airport is a blue circle. The blue triangle is what Boeing calls an off-route waypoint. It means a known reporting point, usually in the local airway structure but not one which your route follows. This is an active waypoint. It is colored magenta because the aircraft is on the leg to this particular point. Other route waypoints, for instance, Those on the legs ahead of the present one are shown in white. This white arrow appears on the bottom left corner of the EHSI display and shows the wind direction relative to heading or track whichever is selected. This example means that the wind is from 11 o'clock. It would only mean that the wind was from 330 degrees if the aircraft were heading north. Selected runways at airports are two white parallel lines. The dotted lines indicate the extended center line. There are 7 EHSI display modes. These are 4 basic modes called VOR, ILS, Map and Plan. And 3 of these have expansions or variants. There is an expanded VOR mode, expanded ILS, and a center map display. We'll look at all of these in turn and see what information they give. The modes are selected using the controls on the EHSI selection of the FS control panel, which is highlighted here. The control knob in the center of the EHSI control panel is the principal mode selector. Let's start by looking at the full VOR mode. So let's select VOR with the control knob. Firstly, we can see that in this mode a full compass rose is displayed on the EHSI screen. In addition, other flight information is displayed and we will work our way around the display in a clockwise direction looking at the information provided. Starting in the lower right-hand corner, the chosen VOR frequency is displayed, along with a VOR2 from a non-seater, just above. Moving to the left now, the selected VOR source is displayed in the lower left-hand corner of the EHSI screen, which in this case is the NAV2 source. And just above this we can see an instantaneous readout of the wind direction and strength. As you can see, the white arrow shows the wind coming from left of the nose and our heading is 130 magnetic. This gives the text readout of 100 degrees magnetic. In the top left-hand corner, we can see the DME distance to the selected VOR. This figure will of course increase or decrease depending on whether the aircraft is tracking towards or away from the selected VOR source. Next, the current heading is shown in the window at the top of the compass rose. And in this example, we can see it is a heading of 130 degrees magnetic. Note that the heading reference selected is magnetic north in this instance, because heading may also be referenced to true north if desired. If we look now at the information overlaid on the compass rose, we can see that the course selection is displayed by the magenta course indicator, which in this case is showing a track set of 150 degrees. Any track deviation is shown by the magenta course deviation bar, which can move across a to left or to right deviation scale. Each dot corresponds to 5 degrees. Current track is shown by the white triangle on the inside edge of the compass rose. At the lower part of the compass rose display, we can see another white triangle. This is a VOR2 from pointer, which is provided in addition to the VOR2 from a non-seater in the lower right-hand corner of the EHSI screen. We can see the pointer is confirming that the aircraft is tracking away from the VOR source. Finally, a magenta heading bug on the outside of the compass rose can be moved around the perimeter of the compass rose to indicate a selected heading. In VOR mode, we have the choice to select either the full compass rose display, as we have seen in full VOR mode, or we can select an expanded VOR display. In expanded VOR mode, we are also able to have a weather radar facility, so let's select weather radar on as well. The expanded VOR display on the EHSI shows approximately 90 degrees of an enlarged segment of the compass rose. In this display, the aircraft is represented by the white triangle at the base of the EHSI screen. In the lower right-hand corner, we can see the VOR frequency selected and also the VOR2 from a non-seater. Instantaneous wind speed and direction are shown in the lower left-hand corner of the EHSI screen, with the selected VOR source displayed below. The DME distance is displayed in the top left-hand corner. The current heading is shown in the window at the top of the compass rose segment, and the heading reference selected is magnetic north. The selected track is displayed by the magenta course indicator, which we can see is set to a track of 150 degrees. Any track deviation is shown by the magenta course deviation bar, which as we now know can move across a 2-dot left or 2-dot right deviation scale. The current track is shown by the white line extending from the tip of the aircraft symbol to the compass arc. The selected heading is shown by the magenta bug on the outer scale of the compass rose. In expanded modes, weather range arcs are superimposed on the EHSI screen. In our example, we can also see some adverse weather conditions out to the left of the aircraft. Weather radar uses the colors green, yellow, and red to depict areas of poor weather. Green indicates the least severe turbulence and red the most. The most severe turbulence, however, may also be highlighted in magenta. Let's now select the ILS mode. With an ILS frequency selected, the EHSI displays a full compass rose. This is full ILS mode. There is an expanded ILS option, which we will look at shortly. Let's examine the ILS display starting again in the lower right-hand corner. Here is the selected ILS frequency. And here is the ILS source displayed in the lower left-hand corner. The course indicator now represents the ILS localizer and the course deviation bar shows the localizer deviation across a 2-dot left and 2-dot right deviation scale. DME, current heading, current track, selected heading and instantaneous wind speed and direction are all shown in the format which we should now be familiar with. In addition, of course, the ILS mode needs to display light slope information. And this can be seen to the right of the EHSI screen in the form of a magenta light slope pointer along with a 2-dot fly-up fly-down deviation scale. ILS also has an expanded mode. The screen display is extremely similar to the expanded VOR mode. As you would expect, however, the fundamental difference between the expanded VOR mode and the expanded ILS mode is that the expanded ILS mode includes the light slope pointer and deviation scale. We can see the light slope pointer and deviation scale on the right-hand side of the EHSI screen. On ILS, each dot represents 1 degree. On expanded ILS, they represent half a degree. Also, note that a weather radar display is available with expanded ILS. Let's now switch to map mode. Here we have a plan mapping display of our route. Traffic information from TCAS, the Traffic Alert and Collision Avoidance System, can also be displayed along with terrain information from the Enhanced Ground Proximity Warning System, EGPWS. Once again, the triangle symbol of the base of the display represents the aircraft and flight information up to 90 degrees either side of track is displayed. Heading information is supplied by the appropriate inertial reference system. The compass rose segment can be selected to either magnetic or true north between latitude 73 degrees north and 60 degrees south and to true north only above these latitudes. The aircraft route is displayed as a continuous magenta line joining the programmed waypoints. The waypoints are added and erased as the flight progresses. The waypoint the aircraft is currently tracking towards is called the active waypoint and is displayed as a magenta star. Other waypoints making up the programmed route are called inactive waypoints and are shown as white stars. The distance to the next waypoint is shown on the top left of the display screen and the computed time to the next waypoint is shown by the waypoint. Computer times are also shown adjacent to the other en route waypoints, where the radar can be overlaid as we can see in the example here. Along with the now familiar display of instantaneous wind strength and direction in the lower left-hand part of the screen, lateral deviations and vertical deviations from the selected flight path can also be displayed. The Flight Management Computer or FMC can predict events by combining current ground speed and lateral acceleration to show a curved trend vector shown here in white or a range to altitude arc for climb and descent rates which we can see here represented in green. A larger scale version of map called center map which puts the aircraft symbol at the center of the picture is also available. Lastly, we have the plan mode. With this mode selected, a static map background is displayed with the active route data orientated to true north. Any changes to the route may be selected at the FMC keyboard and shown on the EHSI display so they can be checked before they are entered into the flight management computer. There is no weather radar display with this mode. It is possible for pilots independently of each other to select any of the modes we have looked at. Weather radar is available only in 3 modes. These are expanded VOR, expanded ILS and map. It cannot be displayed in any of the modes. Finally, let's look at failure enunciations. Should a signal from a data source fail, the failed data source will be highlighted or flagged in yellow. Here we can see failure enunciations of the heading, the localizer, the map display and both VORs. Clearly, you would not normally expect to see all of these at once. This is a demonstration. In addition, false may be displayed in message form on the EHSI display. Let's summarize this lesson. We started by looking at the components of an electronic flight instrument system. We said that for redundancy there was one more symbol generator than the number of displays. We then looked at the color coding. Firstly, there was the ACO CAS-25 standard. But complementary to this Boeing News Color Set 1. We then looked at the symbology. We said that there were 7 possible EHSI displays. The lateral deviation bars have different scaling depending on the mode selected. For VOR it is 5 degrees per dot. For full ILS it is 1 degree per dot. For expanded ILS it is half a degree per dot. The principal display modes are VOR, ILS, map and plan. VOR mode can be displayed in full VOR mode or expanded VOR mode. ILS mode can be displayed in full ILS mode or expanded ILS mode. The modes are selected using the controls on the EHSI section of the FS control panel. A weather radar display is not available in full VOR, full ILS and plan modes. The information displays available in the principal and expanded modes should be noted. The compass rose may be reference to magnetic or true north from the IRS between latitudes 73 degrees north and 60 degrees south and to true north above these latitudes. EHSI modes can be independently selected on the captain's and copilot's control panels. Failure of a data signal is highlighted or flagged in yellow or maybe in message format. The common symbols should be noted.